You know, sir, I've spent over 20 years helping people stay strong and healthy as they get older. And one thing I see again and again is how easy it is to lose muscle without even noticing. It doesn't happen all at once. It's little things, like getting tired faster, feeling unsteady when standing up or struggling to carry something that used to be easy. But the good news is, there are simple changes you can make to fight back, starting today. Let's begin with something really simple: eggs. You might be surprised, but adding eggs to your breakfast can do wonders for your muscles. Say after 60, your body doesn't use protein the same way it used to. You actually need more of it just to hold on to the muscle you already have. Without enough, your muscles slowly start to shrink, making everyday things feel harder, like getting up from a chair or keeping your balance. And if you're like many folks I've met, you might be starting your day with just toast, oatmeal, or maybe a cup of coffee. But your muscles, they're left waiting for something they never get. I remember working with Harold, 71, from Kentucky. He was one of those people who loved his morning routine: a piece of toast, a little jam, and his favorite black coffee. But over time, he told me he started feeling weak in his legs. Just getting up from his recliner felt like a chore. He even joked, "Doc, I'm not ready for a wheelchair yet." So we looked at his diet. And you know what? There wasn't a single source of good protein in his mornings. I suggested adding one simple thing: a boiled egg. That's it. A little egg, scrambled, boiled, however he liked it. Harold thought it sounded too easy, but he gave it a shot. A couple of weeks later, he called me and said, "I feel steadier already." And that's when I knew he was on the right track. What often helps is starting your day with 1 or 2 eggs. You can boil them, make a soft omelette, or even have them poached if that's easier to chew. It's quick, affordable, and gives your muscles what they're really asking for: real usable protein. Your body's been carrying you through life for a long time. It deserves a little care in return. Even small changes, like an egg at breakfast, can start building your strength again, one simple choice at a time. Now let me share another powerful addition: fish. And I'm not just talking about fancy dinners or expensive seafood. I'm talking about simple, affordable choices like canned salmon, sardines, or mackerel. You see, as you age, your muscles don't just need protein. They also need something called omega-3 fats. These healthy fats help reduce inflammation in your body, which can slow down muscle loss and even make your joints feel less stiff. Without them, your muscles can feel sore or slow to recover after simple activities like gardening or walking. And here's the thing: many people just don't eat enough fish to get those benefits. I think about Margaret, 68, from Ohio. She came to me because she noticed her hands were getting weaker. Even holding a coffee mug felt heavier than it used to. She told me she'd pretty much stopped cooking fish because it felt like too much work. So I asked her if she liked canned salmon or sardines. She wrinkled her nose at first, but agreed to try adding canned salmon to her salad once or twice a week. About a month later, she came back with a smile and told me she was opening jars and lifting her cast iron pan again without feeling like her hands would give out. It wasn't magic. It was just giving her body what it had been missing for too long. One of the easiest ways to help your muscles is to add fish to your meals once or twice a week. Canned salmon, sardines, or mackerel work great. You can mix them into a salad, spread them on toast, or eat them right out of the can with a fork. It's simple, it's quick, and your body will thank you. Every time you choose food that feeds your strength, you're choosing life. You're choosing to keep moving, to keep doing the things you love. You deserve that kind of care, and it's never too late to start. Another simple but often overlooked solution is adding beans and lentils to your meals. Now I know what you might be thinking. Aren't those just for vegetarians? But let me tell you, they are one of the most powerful foods for keeping your muscles healthy, especially as you get older. You see, after 60, many people start eating less meat. Maybe it's harder to chew or cooking feels like too much work. But when your body stops getting enough protein, your muscles can start to shrink, making you feel tired, weak, or unsteady. That's why adding plant-based proteins like beans and lentils can make a real difference. I think of Walter, 75, from Texas. After his wife passed away, he told me he stopped cooking real meals. Most days, he'd just grab a sandwich or heat up a can of soup. He didn't realize that he was missing out on the kind of nutrition his muscles needed to stay strong. One day, we talked about easy foods he could add without much effort. I mentioned canned beans, black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas. I showed him how to rinse them and add them right into his soups or salads. Walter gave it a try. A few weeks later, he told me something surprising. He said he felt more steady on his feet when he went to the store. It wasn't a huge change in his routine, but his body noticed the difference. One of the easiest ways to help your muscles is by adding half a cup of beans or lentils to your meals a few times a week. You can stir them into soups, sprinkle them on salads, or even mash them on toast with a little seasoning. They're affordable, easy to find, and packed with the kind of nutrition your body really needs. Think of every meal as a little gift you give to yourself. You deserve to feel steady and strong in your own body. And sometimes, the simplest foods bring the biggest rewards. Let's move on to something that feels more like a treat than health food: yogurt or kefir, especially the kind that's high in protein. Now, you might already be having yogurt or drinking kefir from time to time, and that's great. But here's the thing. Not all dairy products give your muscles what they really need. Many popular yogurts are full of sugar, but don't have much protein. And your muscles, they're looking for that protein to stay strong. After 60, your body becomes less efficient at using the protein you eat, so you need to give it a little extra, not just for your muscles, but also for your bones and energy. I remember Dolly, 66, from Michigan. She loved her evening snack, a little bowl of plain kefir. She thought she was doing the right thing, and in a way she was. But when she told me she was feeling tired during her morning walks and her legs felt heavy, I asked her to check the label on her kefir. Turns out, it barely had any protein at all. We talked about switching to a Greek yogurt that had double or even triple the protein. She started adding a spoonful of that yogurt to her breakfast or having it as a snack in the afternoon. A few weeks later, Dolly told me her walk started to feel easier, and she wasn't as tired climbing the stairs at her daughter's house. It was such a simple change, but it made a real difference for her. What often helps is choosing yogurt or kefir with high protein. Look for labels that say high protein or check the grams of protein per serving. Aim for 10 grams or more. It can be a great snack on its own, or with a handful of nuts or seeds. Remember, taking care of yourself doesn't have to feel like work. Sometimes the little choices you make, like picking a better yogurt, quietly build your strength. One day at a time. You're worth that effort every single day. Here's something small but mighty: the nuts and seeds. You might not think of them as muscle food, but trust me, they are little powerhouses for your body. After 60, your body needs not only protein but also healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals like magnesium to keep your muscles and nerves working together. Without those nutrients, your body might feel more tired, your hands might feel shaky, or you might get muscle cramps more often. And the great thing about nuts and seeds is that they're easy to eat. You don't have to cook them, and they can fit right into your day without much effort at all. I remember Frank, 74, from Georgia. He told me he often skipped lunch because he just didn't feel hungry. But by the afternoon he felt drained, like his energy was slipping away. His daughter, Sarah, started bringing him little snack bags of mixed nuts, almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds. Frank started keeping them on the table next to his favorite chair. Whenever he felt a little hungry or needed a quick snack, he'd grab a handful. After a few weeks, he noticed something surprising. He didn't feel as worn out in the afternoon. His hands felt steadier when he worked on his puzzles, and he even started taking short walks again without feeling like he needed to sit down right away. All from a small handful of nuts each day. One of the simplest ways to support your muscles is by eating a small handful of nuts or seeds every day. Walnuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, or sunflower seeds, they're all great choices. Keep them in a jar on the kitchen table or near your favorite chair so you can grab them easily. Sometimes it's the smallest things that keep you going. A handful of nuts might not seem like much, but it's a little act of care you give yourself. And every time you do that, you're reminding your body that you still have so much life to enjoy. Now let's talk about something many of you already enjoy: a warm bowl of oatmeal. It's comforting, easy on the stomach, and feels like a good start to the day. But here's something you might not realize. Plain oatmeal, while healthy, in many ways, doesn't give your muscles enough protein to stay strong. A bowl of oatmeal by itself is mostly carbohydrates, and while that gives you quick energy, it doesn't help build or protect your muscles. And after 60, your muscles need all the support they can get, especially first thing in the morning when your body has gone all night without food. I think about Helen, 72, from Oregon. She told me she never missed her morning oatmeal. She'd been eating it for years, just oats and a little honey. But she also mentioned she started feeling sluggish halfway through the morning, like her energy just dropped. We talked about giving her oatmeal a little boost. She started adding a spoonful of Greek yogurt on top, along with a sprinkle of chia seeds. Some mornings, she mixed in a bit of almond butter or crushed walnuts. A few weeks later, she called me and said, "I didn't think it would make such a difference, but I feel full longer, and my legs don't feel as heavy when I go for my walks." It was such a small change, but it gave her muscles the fuel they'd been missing. What often helps is turning your oatmeal into a muscle-friendly meal. Add a spoonful of Greek yogurt, a handful of nuts, or a sprinkle of seeds like chia or flax. You can even stir in a little protein powder if you like. It takes just a minute, but it makes your breakfast work harder for you. Every morning is a new chance to take care of yourself. Think of your oatmeal as more than just breakfast. It's fuel for your strength, your energy, and all the moments that make life worth living. If you've made it this far, I just want to say, I'm proud of you. You care about your health, and that already makes a difference. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, which of these simple tips feels easiest for you to try? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell so you never miss a new video. And remember, you are not alone in this. You are stronger than you think. Life keeps moving, and you're still holding it gently in your hands.